I'm Gerry Baron, founder and president of By Husbands for Husbands, a service that helps husbands creatively romance their wives. People often ask me, how did By Husbands for Husbands get started? You know, it's a funny story. Well, not funny, not that funny really. About 2 years ago, 2005, I had been in business for about 2 years by myself, had been working on my second business concept, and my marriage was falling apart. My wife was incredibly unhappy. She was feeling the pressure, as I was, of the finances not being what they used to be. And she was telling me that I needed to romance her. Now, being a guy, romance to me was spelled M-O-N-E-Y, spent. And I spent a lot of money in the sense that every week we go out to eat once, twice, 3 times a week. Oftentimes my wife and I, just the two of us. And so in my mind, I thought I was romancing her. I thought I was giving her what she was looking for. But it turned out that what my wife, the way she spelled romance, was T-I-M-E. Time. She wanted quality time with me, and I wasn't giving it to her. So about 2 years ago, I decided maybe it's time I do something different. Maybe it's time I looked at a way to do romance differently than what I saw other people doing, than what I had been doing for 18 years at that point. So I started to think about what are things that I could do to romance my wife more effectively. What were some different, creative, unusual, out-of-the-box things that I could do that would just blow her mind? My goal was to melt her heart. I wanted her to truly fall in love with me all over again. So I started to scratch my head, started to think, and come up with ways to romance her. Little things like writing notes all over the house, underneath her pillow, putting it on her side of the bed, putting them with bars like a candy bar. I gave her a $1,000 bar once and told her that she was a grand for me. I gave her a fake key and told her she had the key to my heart. I gave her lifesavers and told her that she was a lifesaver in my life. Lots of little things like that I kept doing. Found out that there was a drive-in here in Atlanta. Took her to the drive-in movies and just kept coming up with different ways to romance her. Fast forward to last year. I'm in a men's group and we're talking about romance. And one of the guys was asking me what kinds of things I did for romance. So I shared with him some of the things that I had already done and was capturing in a document. Every one of them said, "Man, Gerry, that's great. We need that. We need those kinds of ideas. Can you share it with me?" And so I sent it to him. And then another guy and another guy and another guy, as I was talking to them about some of the challenges they had in their marriage, they would talk to me about how romance was an area of struggle. So in January of this year, 2007, I'm working on my third business concept at the time, business that I'm starting with some MIT classmates. And then I realized I need to find a way to generate some cash. It's about the 15th of January. I know Valentine's Day is coming up, and all of a sudden I think about the things that I have been doing for the last few years, and I think to myself, I wonder if other guys would be interested in something like this. I wonder if other guys would want to maybe pay for either ideas or suggestions or tips, or even help putting together romance for their wife. And so, By Husbands for Husbands, the idea was born. And in the last few months, I've worked diligently, myself and my partner, Steve Worthy, to build a service that helps men really do a better job of loving on and romancing their wives. Our goal is to make every husband a hero in his family so that he melts his wife, that he goes back to wooing her and courting her and loving on her the way that he did. If you're like me, when you were romancing your wife, there was probably nothing that you wouldn't do for her. There was no time that was too much time spent doing something for her behalf. There was no distance too far to travel because you wanted to win her heart. And what we want to do at By Husbands for Husbands and put that spirit right back into you, where you want to romance your wife now the same way you did back when you first met her. So that's our goal. We want to turn husbands into heroes. You can check us out at www.byhusbandsforhusbands.com. We've got a blog every day. There's a different article on things that we as husbands struggle with, or things that we need to know, or suggestions of places to date your wife and things to do and ways to romance her. We also have a weekly radio show every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. for an hour. We talk about these kinds of things, and we have special guests that come on, either guys that have done it or have some creative ways of doing it, or have programs or ministries or things that they're doing to romance their wives. We want to be a resource to you. So check us out, www.byhusbandsforhusbands.com, and you start developing your hero moments as you become a hero in your marriage. Thanks.